What is the largest living land animal on the Earth today?
African elephant.
The African elephant is the largest land animal. Its ears alone can grow up to 2 meters, 6 feet tall, and are used to radiate excess heat to keep it cool.
What gas do humans exhale when they are breathing?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide is a crucial part of the carbon cycle. Plants absorb the CO2 we exhale and use it for photosynthesis to create oxygen, which we then breathe.
What form of energy does the sun primarily radiate to us?
Light and heat. This electromagnetic radiation travels at the speed of light, taking about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to journey from the sun's surface to the Earth. What type of large, natural body of water is a river? Fresh water. Although rivers contain fresh water, their endpoint is often the ocean. The transition zone where a river meets the sea is called an estuary with brackish water. What are the tiny pores on a leaf's surface called?
Stomata. A single birch tree can have over 1 million stomata. These pores are vital for gas exchange, but are also where a plant can lose up to 95% of its water.
What do we call a streak of light from a meteoroid?
Meteor. A meteor is the streak of light, while the rock itself is a meteoroid. If any piece of it survives the journey and lands on Earth, it is then called a meteorite. What is the hard, warm, and dynamic outer layer of an insect? Exoskeleton. An insect's exoskeleton is made of a tough material called chitin. It provides excellent protection, but does not grow, so the insect must molt to get bigger. Which tool is used to measure the air temperature? Thermometer. The word thermometer comes from the Greek words thermos for hot and metron for measure. Early versions often use substances like brandy instead of mercury. What is the process of water vapor turning to liquid? Condensation. Condensation is the opposite of evaporation. It is the process responsible for the formation of clouds in the sky and the dew you see on grass in the morning. Which part of a flower typically produces the pollen? Stamen. The stamen is considered the male part of the flower. It is typically composed of a long filament topped by an anther which holds all the fine pollen grains. What term describes the resistance of a liquid to flow? Viscosity. Honey is a highly viscous liquid, meaning it flows very slowly. In contrast, liquids like water and alcohol have very low viscosity and flow quite easily. What is the name for the pigment that gives skin its color? Melanin. Melanin acts as the body's natural sunscreen. It absorbs harmful ultraviolet or UV radiation from the sun, protecting the DNA in our skin cells from damage. Which of these substances is considered to be a polymer?
plastic? The word polymer means many parts. Plastics are made of long, repeating chains of smaller molecules called monomers, which gives them their unique properties. What type of cloud is associated with thunderstorms?
Cumulonimbus. These are giant vertical clouds that can stretch more than 12 kilometers, 40,000 feet high. Their name comes from the Latin cumulus, heap, and nimbus, rainstorm. What is the transfer of heat through direct contact?
Conduction.
When you touch a hot pan, heat transfers directly to your hand via conduction. Metals are excellent conductors, while materials like wood are poor conductors.
What is the name for a star that has suddenly exploded?
Supernova.
For a short time, a supernova can outshine its entire home galaxy. These explosions create and scatter heavy elements like gold and iron across space.
Which system in the body fights off harmful pathogens? Immune system. Your immune system has a memory. After defeating a pathogen once, it remembers it and can mount a much faster and stronger defense if you are exposed again.
What do we call a substance with a pH value of 7? The answer is neutral.
Pure water at room temperature is the perfect example of a neutral substance, sitting at exactly 7 on the pH scale, right between the acidic and basic ends.
What is the name for the layer of gases around Earth? The answer is atmosphere. If the Earth were the size of an apple, the atmosphere would be no thicker than the skin on that apple. It is a surprisingly thin but essential protective layer.
What is the unit for measuring the frequency of a wave?
Hertz. The unit is named after Heinrich Hertz, who proved the existence of electromagnetic waves. 1 hertz, Hz, is equal to 1 cycle or 1 vibration per second.
What is the process of copying a DNA sequence into RNA? The answer is transcription. Think of transcription as a scribe carefully copying the master blueprint DNA onto a portable scroll that can be taken out of the nucleus to be used. Which principle explains why ships are able to float? Archimedes. This principle explains that the buoyant force on an object is equal to the weight of the fluid it displaces. A steel ship floats because its shape displaces a huge volume of water. What is an atom of the same element with a different mass? Isotope. A famous example is carbon-14, which is used for radioactive dating. It has 2 extra neutrons compared to the much more common and stable carbon-12. Where is the Kuiper belt primarily located in our solar system?
Beyond Neptune.
The Kuiper belt is a vast icy region beyond the orbit of Neptune. It's considered a source of many comets and is home to dwarf planets like Pluto. What is the liquid matrix component of blood called?
Plasma. Plasma is a yellowish liquid that makes up about 55% of our blood.
It is responsible for carrying blood cells, hormones, and nutrients throughout the body.
What phenomenon is seen at a substance's triple point?
Coexisting states.
At a substance's unique triple point of temperature and pressure, its solid, liquid, and gaseous phases can all exist at the same time in stable equilibrium.
What is the scientific name for the northern lights?
Aurora borealis.
This stunning light show is caused by charged particles from the sun colliding with gases in Earth's upper atmosphere, guided towards the poles by our magnetic field.
What type of reaction absorbs heat from its surroundings?
Endothermic.
A chemical cold pack is a perfect example of an endothermic process. The reaction inside absorbs heat from its surroundings, making the pack feel cold to the touch. Which organelle is responsible for sorting proteins?
Golgi apparatus.
The Golgi apparatus is often called the post office of the cell. It receives proteins, sorts them, packages them, and ships them to their final destinations.
What fundamental particle has not yet been observed?
Graviton.
The graviton is the hypothetical quantum particle that mediates the force of gravity. It is predicted by theory, but has not yet been detected by any experiment.
How many did you get right? Let us know your score in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons.